io devo dire che così come sono vestito non mi sento a mio agio.
Per forza. Sembri un povero pazzo catapultato dentro qualche mediocre allestimento in costume. Oppure no, sembri uno di quei personaggi da commedia americana, remake anni 90 di un film tipo Il principe e il povero. Sembri.
Sì, certo. Vai avanti. Denigrami. Modella a tuo piacimento il tuo nemico. Infatti che nella commedia io risulto molto più simpatico di te. E a questo punto della nostra amicizia è una cosa che non puoi sopportare.
Hai cercato di farmi le scarpe più di una volta. Intendo dal punto di vista sentimentale. Come dire, uno per certe cose può rimanerci male.
Lo scopriremo di fronte al pubblico.
Oh, pochi! Galletti da esibizione fieristica! Dovreste mettere un freno alle vostre intemperanze, visto che comunque tra un po' cominciamo.
Disse quella che non voleva entrare in scena.
Oh! Io sono una professionista e per quanto il lavoro non mi piaccia, no, non parlo dell'allestimento quanto del testo, non mi permetterei mai di offendere un lavoro nel quale credo tantissimo, ma il testo. Comunque io metto al servizio della scena la mia competenza e per quanto tu mi abbia sentito titubare blandamente...
Titubare blandamente? Dio mio, non ne volevi proprio sapere. Di là era tutto un opporsi di qua, un opporsi di là, sembrava la rinuncia stessa, fatta persona del palcoscenico, che quasi quasi, guarda, sarebbe anche meglio!
Beh, d'accordo. Vediamo di tornare nell'alveo di una storia che comunque dovremo raccontare.
E rappresentare, purtroppo, rappresentare.
Perché purtroppo disse l'altrettanto entusiasta che in camerino aveva appena finito di lamentarsi di come le cose non girino bene, dalle scarpe al vestito.
D'accordo, mi spiego, prima che ricominciate anche voi un diverbio. Dico purtroppo perché con Giulia mi trovo d'accordo.
Beh, per forza. Con chi non altrimenti avresti potuto essere...
Intendo, è una perdita di tempo, una filosofia continua quel testo, un brancolare alla ricerca di un'identità di testo. Non è testo quel testo.
Parlando così, sembra proprio quel testo.
Infatti, esci, scantoni, cerchi soluzioni all'impresa di portare in porto per bene la faccenda di un testo che non spesso si rappresenta.
Beh, allora questo è un vanto. Ce ne stiamo qui in questo bel posto a dircene 4? E il pubblico ci guarda. Perché fra poco avremo le più belle parole del bando che sia mai stato rappresentato.
In originale, badate, in originale.
Già, ed è un sollievo, perché qualcuno non intenderà dovere. E se ci dessimo del caprone del copione, lo intenderà bene solo quel signore o la signora che ha una certa affinità con la lingua, perché la pratica.
La lingua? E come la pratica la lingua?
Lo sapevo che ci piazzavi la battuta, che detto qui, con te vestito così è uno simbolo mal riuscito.
E se poi si sentiranno delle urla, il pubblico saprà bene a cosa imputarle.
Dunque, all'inizio, spettatori, una partenza. Il congedo fra due buoni amici. Mi viene quasi da ridere a pensare chi c'è qua. Comunque, rimanendo nel segnato della storia, ecco dunque in apertura Valentino che saluta Proteo. Valentino che salpa per Milano. Valentino, capito? Salpa, davvero una bella, per Milano. Salpa! Ma neanche l'Adese che va in cerca dei paesi di città avrebbe potuto immaginare di far qualcuno arrivare da sé Adige fino là, fino ai 1000 ponti sul naviglio di una Milano per sentito dire. E qui, prima contraddizione. Il bardo non è un gran conoscitore di geografia o esperto topografo, o quelle terre non ci vanno nozze. Comunque, Valentino si congeda da Proteo. Quello segue la propria formazione precaria. Questo invece rimane nella bella Verona, dove guarda un po' c'è un amore per cui stravede e si ripete la storia della passione.
Says to persuade my loving Proteus home-keeping youth have ever only wits. Words not, affection change thy tender days to the sweet glances of thy honored love. I rather would entreat thy company to see the wonders of the world abroad than living dully, sluggard as at home. But since thou lovest, love still, and thrive therein, even as I would when I to love begin.
Will thou be gone? Sweet Valentine, adieu. Think on thy Proteus when thou haply seest some rare, noteworthy object in thy travel. Wish me partaker in thy happiness when thou dost, with good hap, and in thy danger, if ever danger do environ thee, commend thy grievance to my holy prayers, for I will be thy beadsman, Valentine.
And on a love book, pray for my success.
Upon some book I love, I pray for thee.
That's a sunshine story of deep love, how young Leander crossed the Hellestone.
That's a deep story of a deeper love, for he was more than of a shoes in love.
It is true, for you are of a boots love, and yet you'll never swim the Hellestone.
Over the boots? Nay, give me not the boots.
No, I will not, for it was thee not.
What?
To be love, where scorn is what with groans, call looks with heart so sighs, one fading moment smirked with 20, watchful, weary, tedious nights. If hapless won, perhaps a helpless gain. If lost, why then a grievous labor won. However, but a folly both with wit, or else a wit by folly vanquished.
So by your circumstance you call me fool.
So by your circumstance I fear you'll prove.
It is love you cavil at. I am not love.
Love is your master, for he masters you. And he that is so young by whom methinks should not be chronicled for wise.
Yet, writers say, as in the sweetest bud the eating canker dwells, so eating love inhabits in the finest wits of all.
And writers say, as the most forward bud is eaten by the canker blow, even so by love the young, tender wit is turned to folly, blasting in the bud, losing his verdure even in the prime, and all the fair effects of future hopes. But wherefore waste I time to counsel thee, that art to water upon desire? Once more, adieu. My father at the road expects my coming there to see ship.
And thither will I bring thee, Valentine.
Is it produce? No. Let us take our leave. To Milan, let me hear from thee by letters of that successive love, or what news else. Betided here, in absence of thy friend, and likewise I will visit thee with mine.
All happiness bechance to thee, Milano.
As much to you at home, and so, farewell.
He after honor, Hans. I after love. I leave myself, my friends, and all for love. Thou, Julia, thou hast metamorphosed me, made me neglect my studies, lose my time, war with good counsel, set the world in doubt. Made wit with musing weak, heart sick with thought.
L'uno salpa, l'altro resta per la sua donzella. Questa che arriva, bella, giudicherete, resta invischiato nell'abbandono all'amore. E chissà, cari signori e signore, chissà se si tratta solo di retorica dichiarazione oppure di vero, sincero sentimento di passione. Al cospetto di Giulia ne vengono altri, ma Proteo fa breccia. Inutile dirlo, fa breccia, se no la storia sarebbe già finita. Vorrei far notare all'esperto cultore del bardo che nonostante il meccanismo sia ancora da oliare, tuttavia si possono ravvisare diverse somiglianze, illustri paragoni, quasi scena per scena, con altre opere, con altre circostanze.
Bazzenti.
Ora, in quel che lei sta per dire, c'è un breve elenco di spasimanti, che molto fa somigliare questo momento al momento degli amanti di Porzia nel mercante di Venezia. Ma sì, perché facciamo anche quello. Solo che là è ricca la situazione. È ricca di parole, di versi stretti bene gli uni agli altri. Qui sono ancora un po' zoppicanti, claudicanti. Se non la smetti non vado avanti. Pardon, Madonna, la scena è tua, chi te la ruba?
But
E poi l'espediente della leva allora! Scusa. Scusa. Prego.
But see, now we are alone. Wouldst thou then counsel me to fall in love? Of all the fair resort of gentlemen that every day would part encounter me, in thy opinion, which is the worthiest love? What thinkst thou of the verse of Eglamour? What thinkst thou of the rich Mercatio? What thinkst thou of the gentle Proteus? How now? What means this passion at his name? This paper, madam? To Julia. Say from whom? Valentine's page, and sent, I think, from Proteus. He would have given it me, but you, being in the way, did in my name receive it. Now, by my modesty, a goodly broker, dare you presume to harbor in wanton lines, to whisper and conspire against my youth? Now trust me, this is an office of great worth. And you, an officer fit for the place. Return no more into my sight. We have begun, and yet I had overlooked the letter. It were a shame to call her back again and pray her for a forge for which I cheated her. Oh, what foolish she that knows I am made and would not force the letter to my view, since maids in modesty say no to that which they would have the offer comes true. Fie, how wayward is this foolish love that like a testy babe will scratch the nurse, and presently all humbled is the nurse. How angrily I thought my brow to frown, when in work joy enforced my heart to smile. My penance is to call her back and ask remission for my folly past. What oh, hateful hands to tear such loving words! I kiss it several paper for a man. Oh, look, here is writ, kind Julia, unkind Julia, as in revenge of thy ingratitude, I throw thy name against the bruising stones, trampling contemptuously on thy disdain. And here, here is writ, poor, wounded Proteus, for one name, my bosom has a bed shall lodge at thee, till thy wound will be thoroughly healed. And thus I search it with a sovereign kiss. But twice or thrice was Proteus written down. Be kind, good wind, blow not a word away, till I have found each letter in the letter. Oh, except my own name. Oh, no. Here, in one line, is his name twice writ. Poor, forlorn Proteus. Passionate Proteus. To the sweet Julia. Oh, that I'll tear away. Oh, yet I will not. See, so pretty. quickly couples it to its complaining names. Thus, I will fold them one on another. Now, kiss, embrace, contend, do what you will.
Oh, mica ci crederei per davvero.
Ma che?
Ma tutto quello che hai appena detto, mica ci crederei per davvero. Se è finzione e basta, finisce lì la questione. A meno che... Aspetta, tu veramente non lo prenda come oro colato. Ma non è che frate e Proteo...
Andiamo avanti che non si deve bloccare l'azione,
Sì, andiamo avanti finché il banchetto non sarà ben servito. A te la parola.
E per dire cosa? Ah, sì, che per ordine del padre, Proteo, il mio Proteo, è spedito a Milano dall'amico Valentino. Sì, perché dice il padre che deve darsi da fare, il signorino. Proprio mentre io gli rispondo puntino, ecco che mi parte e non l'ho più sotto mano. Ah, Milano, come puoi essere crudele, come... Sapessi com'è strano sentirsi innamorati a Milano. Sì, Milano, dove ritroviamo Valentino a confessare a se stesso, rivolto nello specchio, il proprio amore inesplicabile per Silvia. Sì, lui, che era partito con l'intento di svezzare il proprio ingegno dalle contese d'amore, eccolo lì, imbrigliato nel cuore di una passione per Silvia, rimembri ancora. No, questo è altro. Dicevamo a Milano, sì. Eccoci, a Milano.
She that you worship loves? Why? How know you that I'm in love? Married by these special marks. First, you learned like Sir Proteus to wreathe your arms like a malcontent, to relish a love song like a robin redbreast, to walk alone like one that had pestilence, to sigh like a schoolboy that had lost his ABC, to weep like a young wench that had buried her grandam, to fast like one that takes diet, to speak puling like a beggar at Hollow Mass. You were wont, when you loved, to crow like a cock when you walked it. You walked like one of the lions. When you fasted, it was presently after dinner. When you looked sadly, it was for want of money. And now, you are metamorphosed with a mistress that, if I look on you, I can hardly think you... me? But miss, here she comes. Madam and mistress, 1,000 good morrows. Good morrows.
Sir Valentine and Sir...
Valentine.
To you 2,000.
As you join me, I have read the letter unto the secret nameless friend of yours, which I was much unwilling to proceed in, but for my duty to your ladyship.
I thank you, gentle servant. 'Tis very cleverly done.
Now, trust me, madam, it came hardly off for big ignorant to whom it goes. I read at random, very doubtfully.
Perchance you think too much of so much pains?
No, madam, so it steed you, I will write. Please, you command 1,000 times as much, and yet...
A pretty period. Well, I guess the sequel. And yet, I will not name it. And yet, I care not. And yet, take these again. And yet, I thank you. Meaning henceforth to trouble you no more.
What means your ladyship? Do you not like it?
Yes, the lines are very quaintly writ, but since unwillingly, take them again. Nay, take them.
Madam, they are for you.
Aye. You read them at my request, but I will none of them. They are for you. I would have had them read more movingly.
Please you, madam, I will write your ladyship another.
And when it's writ for my sake, read it over. And if it please you, so. If not, why, so.
And if it please me, madam, What then?
Why, if it please you, take it for your labor. And so, good morrow. Servant!
Why she hath no writ to me? Believe me, she gave me none except an angry word. She had given you the letter. That's the letter I read to her friend. Oh, dressed unseen, inscrutable, invisible as a nose on a man's face, or a weathercock on a steeple. My master sues to her, and she had taught her tutor, he being her pupil to become her tutor. Oh, excellent device! Was there ever heard a better? That my master, being scribe to himself, should write the letter.
L'anello!
Non ora.
Ma sì, ora per la scena! La partenza!
Oh, sì, sì. Ora sì.
L'anello?
Un bacio? Santo.
Solo per la scena.
Non è il caso ora di parlarne?
E allora vado, che a Milano sospirerò ogni giorno per te. Vado. A Milano. Il fatto è che, vedete com'è la vita? È uno scombinio di fiume, un torrente che non governa. Una commedia che non si lascia trattare. Peggiore di ogni finzione. Imprevedibile come un autore che non sa bene che fare. Un destino che non si lascia tenere a bada. Parlo di me. Il fatto è che, come arriva a Milano Proteo, tanto innamorato della sua bella Giulia, incrocia lo sguardo di Silvia. E quella lettera strappata, ricomposta per mettere insieme nomi e cuori, va su per il cammino degli ardori di Proteus, innamorato ardentemente di un nuovo cuore solamente. Gioventù bizzarra! Gioventù? Shakespeare? No. La vita, come detto. Proprio la vita.
This is the gentleman I told your ladyship. Why, mistress, love have 20 pair of eyes. Welcome, dear Proteus. Mistress, I beseech you, confirm his welcome with some special favor.
His worth is warrant for his welcome either, if this be he you that wish to hear from.
Mistress, it is, sweet lady, entertaining to be my fellow servant to your ladyship.
To law a mistress for so high a servant.
Not so, sweet lady, but to mean a servant to have a look of such a worthy mistress.
Live off discourse of disability. Mistress, entertain him, for be your servant.
My duty will I burst off, nothing else.
And duty never yet did want his meed. Servant, you are welcome to a worthless mistress.
I'll die on him that says so about yourself,
That you are welcome.
that you are worthless.
Madam, your father, my lord, will speak with you.
I wait upon his pleasure. Once more, new servant, welcome. I leave you to confer of home affairs, and when you have done, we look to hear from you.
We'll both attend upon your ladyship.
Now, tell me, how do all from whence you came,
Your friends are well and have them much commanded.
and how do yours?
I left them all in health.
And how does your lady, and how thrives your love?
My tales of love were not to weary you. I know you joy not in a love discourse.
Aye, but that life is altered now. I've done penance for containing love, whose high imperious swords have punished me with bitter, fast penitential groans, with nightly tears and daily hard soul sighs. Oh, gentle Proteus loves. a mighty lord, and have so humbled me as I confess there is no woe to his correction, nor to his service, no such joy on earth. Now, no discourse except it be of love. Now can break my fast, dine, sup, and sleep upon the very naked name of love.
Enough. I read your fortune in your eye. Was this the idol that you worshipped so?
Even she, and is she not an heavenly saint?
Yes, but she's an earthly paragon.
Call her divine.
I will not flatter her.
Oh, flatter me, full of the lasting praises.
When I was sick, you gave me bitter pills, and I must minister the like to you.
Then speak the truth. If not divine, yet let her be a principality, sovereign to all the creatures on the earth.
Except my mistress.
Sweet, except not any. Except thou will except against my love.
Have I not reason to prefer mine own?
And I will have thee to prefer her too. She shall be dignified with this high honor.
Why, Valentine? What braggadism is this?
Pardon me, Proteus. All I can is nothing to her, whose worth makes other worth is nothing. She's alone.
Then let her alone.
Not for the world! Why? Why, man? She's mine own. And I as rich in having such a jewel as 20 seas if all their sands were pearl, the water nectar, and the rocks pure gold. Forgive me if I do not dream on thee, because thou seest me dote upon my love, my foolish rival, through Rio, that her father likes only for his possessions are so huge, has gone with her along, and I must after, for love, thou knowest, is full of jealousy.
But she loves you.
Aye, we are betrothed. Nay, more, our marriage hour, with all the cunning manners of our flight, determine of how I must climb her window, the ladder made of course, and all the means plotted and agreed on for my happiness. Good Proteus, go with me to my chamber, and these affairs to aid me with thy counsel.
Go on before. I shall inquire your fault. I must undo the road to disavow some necessaries that I must use. And then I'll presently attend thee.
Will you make haste?
I will. For as one named, by strength drives out another, so the remembrance of my former love is by a newer object, who I forgot. It is mine, or Valentine's praise, her true perfection of my false transgression that makes me reason as to reason less. She is fair, and so is Julia that I love, that I did love. For now my love is thought, which, like a waxen image against the fire, bears no impression of the thing it was. Methinks my zeal to Valentine is cold, and that I love him not as I was wont. Oh, but I love his lady too much, and that's the reason I love him so little. How shall I dote on her with more advice than thus, without advice, forgive lover?
To love him. Counsel thou, gentle girl, or thou, gentlewomen, assist me, and even in kind love, I do counsel thee, who art the table, wherein all my thoughts are visibly character and engraved, to lesson me, and tell me some good mean how, with my honor, I may undertake a journey to my loving Proteus.
To leave my Julia, shall I be forsworn? To love fair Sylvia, shall I be forsworn? To wrong my friend, I shall be much forsworn. And even that power that gave me first my oath provokes me to this brief or perjury. Love made me swear, and love bids me forswear.
A true devoted pilgrim is not weary to measure kingdoms with its feeble steps. Much less shall she the depths of love's wing to fly. And when the flight is made to one so dear, of such divine perfection as my Proteus.
At first, I did adore a twinkling star, but now I worship a celestial sun. Needful vows may heedfully be broken, and he once wit that once resolved will to learn his wit to exchange the bad for better.
Love, oh love, the more thou dampst it up, the more it burns. The current that with gentle murmur glides down no spring stop, impatiently doth rage. But when his fair course is not hindered, he makes music with the enamel stones, giving a gentle kiss to whoever side he overtaketh in his pilgrimage. And so, by many winding nooks, he strays with willing sport to the wide ocean.
I will forget that Julie is alive, remembering my love to her is dead. And Valentine, I'll hold an enemy, aiming at Sylvia as a sweeter friend. I cannot now prove constant to myself without some treachery used to Valentine.
I'll be as patient as a gentle stream, and make a pastime of each weary step, till the last step hath brought me to my love. But in what habit will I go alone? Not like a woman, for I would prevent the loose encounters of lascivious men. I'll knit my hair up in silken strings, will show to be.
This night, he meaneth with a coded ladder to climb celestial Sylvia's chamber window. Myself in counsel, his competitor. Now presently I give her father notice of their disguise in a pretended flight, who all rage to banish Valentine, for Thurio, he shall wed his daughter. Thurio the rich, noble one.
But how will the world refute me for undertaking so unsteady a journey? I fear me it will make me scandalized. Then never dream on infamy, but go.
But Valentine being gone, I'll quickly cross by some sly trick blunt Thurio's dull proceeding. Love, lend me wings to make my purpose swift, as thou hast lent me wit to plot this drift.
1,000 oaths, an ocean of his tears, and instances of infinite of love, weren't we welcome to my Proteus.
Vatti a fidare degli amici, no? Vatti a fidare che non ti tradiranno mai, che non ti pugnaleranno mai alle spalle, che sapranno aiutare te e il tuo cuore nelle cose d'amore, e non solo in quelle, anche magari nelle insolvenze, nelle tasche scucite dal denaro, nelle imprese fallaci, mendaci giuramenti, altro che l'amico mio, il bel Proteo, va a raccontare tutto al duca, padre di Silvia, bastardo. E no, lasciatemela dire questa parola grossa, questo verbo inadatto alla poesia. Bastardo è la parola migliore che possa dire in questo momento. Sentite un po', worthy prince, noble lord.
No, worthy prince. Sir Valentine, my friend, this night intends to steal away your daughter. Myself and one maid privy to the plot. I know you have determined to bestow her on Thurio, whom your gentle daughter hates. And should she thus be stolen away from you, it would be much vexation to your age. No, noble lord, they have devised a mean how he her chamber window will ascend, and with a corded ladder fetch her down. For which the youthful lover now is gone, and this way comes he with it presently, where if it please you, you may intercept him. But, good my lord, do it so cunningly that my discovery be not aimed at. For love of you, not hate unto my friend, hath made me publisher of this pretense. Adieu, my lord. Sir Valentine is coming.
E io dovrei fare il volto che ho nella commedia, come Valentino, e dire, raccontare, per Dio, che il padre di Silvia mi aspetta, mi tende un tranello, mi fa raccontare come per filo e per segno si potrebbe rapire una fanciulla con scala corda. Gli dico che gli occorrerebbe un mantello come il suo, largo abbastanza alla bisogna da poter conservare sotto di esso una scala corda. Ed in quel momento, in quel mentre, mi cade la lettera, il bel pistolotto che avevo preparato per il rapimento.
Scemo, inetto!
Dice lo spiritello qui dietro, che ha spifferato tutto. Così il duca lo legge e mi bandisce dalla sua vista, da Silvia, da Milano. To die is to be banished from myself, and Silvia is myself. Banished from her is self from self, a deadly banishment. What light is light if Silvia be not sin? What joy is joy if Silvia be not by? Unless it be to think she's by and feed upon the shadow of perfection. Except I be by Silvia in the night. There is no music in the nightingale. Unless I look on Silvia in the day, there is no day for me to look upon. She is my essence, and I live to be, if I be not by her fair influence, fostered, illumined, cherished, kept alive. I fly not death, to fly his deadly doom. Tarry I here, I'd but attend on death. But fly I hence, I fly away from life.
Valentine!
No,
Who then, spirit?
neither,
What then?
nothing.
Friend Valentine, a word.
My ears are stopped and cannot hear good news. So much of bad hath already possessed them.
Then, in dumb silence will I bury mine, for they are harsh, untunable, and bad.
Is Silvia dead?
No, Valentine.
No, Valentine. Indeed, for sacred Silvia. Hath she forsworn me?
No, Valentine.
No, Valentine. If Silvia hath forsworn me... What is your news?
Sir, there is a proclamation. Thou art banished. Oh, that's the news from hence, from Silvia, and from me, thy friend.
I had fed upon this already. And now, excess of it will make me surfeit. Doth Silvia know that I'm banished?
Aye, aye. And she hath offered to the doom which, unreversed, stands in effectual force, a sea of melting pearl, which some call tears. Those at her father's childish feet she tender. Then, upon her knees, her humble self, wringing her hands, was whiteness so became them, as if but now they waxed pale for proof. But neither bended knees, pure hands held up, sad sighs, deep groans, no silver shedding tears could penetrate her uncompassionate sire. But Valentine, if he be taken, must die. Besides, her intercession chafed him so, and she for thy repeal was suppliant, that to close prison he commanded her, with many bitter threats of biding there.
No more. Unless the next word thou speakest have some malignant parallel upon my life. If so, I pray thee to breathe it in mine ear, as ending anathema of my endless dolor.
Cease to lament for that thou here if thou stay, thou canst not see thy love. Besides, thy stain will abridge thy life. Hope is a lover's staff. Walk hence with that, and manage it against despairing thoughts. Thy letter may be here, though thou art hence, which, being read to me, shall be delivered even in the milk-white bosom of thy love. Come, I'll convey thee through the city gate. As thou lovest Silvia, do not fall thyself. Regard thy danger, and along with me. Come, Valentine.
Oh, dear Silvia. Oh, helpless Valentine. Ma nell'infedeltà, nel capriccio, nella bizzarria dell'amicizia o inimicizia, qualcosa ti deve succedere che ti capiti addosso. Amico o nemico caro, ma risolviamo dopo le questioni. Per ora possiamo solo andare a braccetto con la storia. L'amico mio, il bel Proteo, decide di gettarmi addosso la croce, il fardello della calunnia, che è un venticello, una oretta assai gentile, per liberarsi di me e poi di Turio, e per avere Silvia con sé. E così, bandito da Milano. E bandito sono diventato, sì, mezzo delinquente proprio. Bandito gentile però. Ma Proteo, ma fratello, qualcosa ti deve succedere, fratello. Qualcosa ti deve succedere, ti deve, anche perché sono diventato marrano, delinquente che non paga le tasse, precario della finanza, delinquenza precaria.
Un'auretta e anche questa serena serenata che viene cantata sotto le mie stesse orecchie a Silvia, da Proteo mio signore. E io, trasformata in maschio per necessità, devo stare ad ascoltare la sconcia verità di un amore che ha trovato un nuovo cuore al quale rivolgersi. Un amore... ma com'è smelenso questo rivolgersi a voi spettatori per provare una disputa che va al di là di tutto questo. Beh, ecco dunque la serenata che fa male al cuore.
Love that to arise, refer to her habits that Sylvia, let us see that Sylvia is excelling, he exiles each mortal thing upon the dollar dwelling to her let us gallant, her let us gallant. Madam, good even to your ladyship.
I thank you for your music. Gentlemen, who is that spake?
One lady, if you knew his pure heart truth, you would quickly learn to know him by his voice.
Sir Proteus, as I take it.
Sir Proteus, gentle lady, I'm your servant,
What's your will?
that I may compass yours.
You have your wish. My will is even this, that presently you hie you home to bed, thou subtle, perjured, false, disloyal man. Think'st thou I am so shallow, so consightless, to be seduced by thy flattery, that has deceived so many with thy vows? Return, return and make thy love amends. For me, by this pale queen of night I swear, I am so far from granting thy request, that I despise thee from thy wrongful suit, and by despise myself. To thy wrongful suit, and by intend myself to chide even for this time I spend in talking to thee.
I grant, sweet love, that I did love a lady, but she's dead.
It were false if I should speak it, for I'm sure she's not buried.
And so suppose am I. Say that she be, yet Valentine, thy friend, survives, to whom thyself art witness, I am betrothed, and art thou not ashamed to wrong him with thy importunancy?
I likewise hear that Valentine is dead.
And so suppose am I, for in his grave, assure thyself, my love is buried.
Sweet lady, let me rake it from the earth.
Go to thy lady's grave and call her thence, or at the least, in hers, sepulchre die.
You're not dead.
Madam, if your heart be so obdurate, vouchsafe me yet your picture for my love. That picture that is hanging in your chamber.
No!
To that I'll speak. To that I'll sigh and weep. For since the substance of your perfect self is else devoted to me, I am but a shadow. And to your shadow I will make true love.
If it were a substance, you would sure deceive it and make it but a shadow, as I am.
I am very loath to be your idol, sir. But since your falsehood shall become you well, to worship shadows and adore false shapes, send to me in the morning, and I send it. And so, good rest!
As wretch yourself of a night that wait for execution in the morning.
Not so, but it hath been the longest night I ever watched, and the most heaviest.
D'accordo. Silvia intanto confessa di voler andare alla ricerca del suo Valentino. In questo c'è un senso. Io non ci sono. Sto a fare il molesto nei pressi di Mantova.
They say, no grief did ever come so near thy heart as when thy lady and thy true love died, upon whose grave thou bowed of pure chastity. Sir, I would to Valentine, to Mantua, where I hear he makes abode, and for the ways are dangerous to pass. I do desire thy worthy company, upon whose faith and honor I repose. Think upon my grief, a lady's grief, and on the justice of my flying hands, to keep me from a most unholy match, which heaven and fortune still rewards with plagues. I do desire thee, even from a heart as full of sorrows as the sea of sands, to bear me company and go with me. If not, to hide what I have said to thee, that I may venture to depart alone.
Nascosto. Proteo intanto intende servirsi di Giulia, alias Sebastiano. In questo riconosciamo la mano del bardo che dell'equivoco maschile e femminile lui sì ne ha fatto uno stile. È che riesce sempre difficile capire come sotto un abbigliamento maschile un protagonista non possa riconoscere lo stile di un essere femminile. È questa inverosimiglianza nell'azione che fa venire il latte alle ginocchia ed anche altrove. E anche qui mi metto in disparte. E non è questa la mia parte, anzi, me ne vado proprio. Io sono sempre nella foresta, a far vita modesta, di ladro matricolato.
Sebastian, I have entertained thee, partly that I have need of such a youth that can with some discretion do my business, but chiefly for thy face and thy behavior. Go presently and take this ring with thee. Deliver it to Madame Sylvia. She loved me well, deliver it to me. Her name was Julia.
It seems you love not her to leave her token. She is dead, belike.
Not so, I think she lives.
Alas,
Why dost thou cry, alas?
I cannot choose but pity her.
Wherefore shouldest thou pity her?
Because methinks that she loved you as well as you do love your lady Sylvia. She dreams of him that has forgot her love. You dote on her that cares not for your love. This pity love should be so contrary, and thinking of it makes me cry alas.
Well, give her that ring. Tell my lady I claim the promise for her heavenly picture.
Do such a message. Alas, poor Proteus, thou hast entertained a fox to be the shepherd of thy lambs. Alas, poor fool, why do I pity him, that with his very heart despiseth me? Because he loves her, he despiseth me. Because I love him, I must pity him. This ring I gave him when he parted from me, to bind him, to remember my good will. And now am I, unhappy messenger, to plead for that which I would not obtain, to carry that which I would have refused, to praise his faith, which I would have dispraised. I am my master through confirmed love, but cannot be true servant to my master unless I prove false traitor to myself. Yet will I woo for him, but yet so coldly, as heaven it knows, I would not have him speed. Gentlemen, gentlewoman, good day. I pray you, be my mean to bring me where to speak with Madame Sylvia. Bring me. Bring me. Madame Sylvia,
What would you with her, if that I be she?
if you'd be she, I do entreat your patient to hear me speak the message I am sent on.
From whom?
From my master, Sir Proteus, madam.
Oh, he sends you for a picture.
Aye, madam.
Oh well, go give your master this. Tell him from me that one Julia that his changing thoughts forget would better fit his chamber than this shadow.
Madam, he sends your ladyship this ring.
The more shame for him that he sent it me, for I have heard him say 1,000 times his Julia gave it him at his departure. Thought his false finger hath profaned the ring. Mine shall not do his Julia so much wrong.
How she thanks you.
What sayest thou?
I thank you, madam, that you tender her. Poor gentlewoman, my master wrongs her much.
Dost thou know her?
Almost as well as I do know myself. To think upon her vows, to protest I have wept several hundred times.
Belike she thinks that Proteus hath forsook her.
I think she doth, and that's her cause of sorrow.
Is she not passing fair?
She hath been fair, madam. Then she is. When she did think my master loved her well, she, in my judgment, was as fair as you.
How tall was she?
About my stature.
Alas, poor lady, there is so little left. I weep myself to think upon thy words. Farewell.
And she said, thank you for it. If ever you know her. Poor gentlewoman. Mild and beautiful. I hope my master's sweet will be but cold, since she respects my mistress' love so much. Alas, how love can trifle with itself. Okay. Here is her picture. Let me see. I think if I had such attire, this face of mine were full as lovely as this of her. And yet, the painter flattered her a little, unless I flatter with myself too much. What can it be that you respect in her, but I can make respect it in myself? If this fond love were not a blinded God, come, shadow, come and take this shadow up for this thy rival. Oh, thou senseless form, thou shalt be loved, kissed, and adored. And where the sense in this idolatry? My substance should be stature in thy stead. I use thee candy, but I miss a sake that used me so. Or else, by Jove I vow, I should have scratched out your unseen eyes to make my master out of love with thee.
D'accordo! 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 Lasciamo da parte le schermaglie. Ho capito che le risolveremo fra me e te fuori da qui. Che qui non si capisce più niente. Fra Milano, marine e foreste nei pressi di una mantova illusorio.
Va bene, facciamo da bravi i colleghi che sanno come vanno le cose. Dunque, Silvia ti insegue per amore. C'è quel suo pretendente, Turio, che come tutti i pretendenti non amanti, vuole soltanto non essere trattato da stupido.
Silvia viene rapita dai banditi Gaglioffi con cui se la fa il Valentino.
Cioè tu!
Cioè io. Già. Ma tu insegui lei e la liberi.
E Giulia insegue me mi annoia!
Disegno preparatorio di un sogno mezzo estivo di là da venire.
Vedi? In fondo è vero! Il bando ha un suo stile.
How use doth breed a habit in a man. This shadowy desert, unfrequented woods, I better broke than flourish in peopled towns. Here can I sit alone, unseen of any. O thou that dost inhabit in my breast, leave not the mansion so long tenantless, lest growing ruinous the building fall, and leave no memory of what it was. Prepare me with thy presence, Sylvia. Who's this comes here? Withdraw thee, Valentine!
Madam, this service I've done for you, that you respect no thoughts your servant doth, to other life and rescue you from him that would enforce your honor and your love. Vouchsafe me for my meed, but one fair look. A smaller boon than this I cannot beg, and less than this I'm sure you cannot give.
Oh, miserable, unhappy that I am.
Unhappy were you, madam, ere I came, but by my coming I've made you happy.
By thy approach, thou makest me most unhappy.
And me, when he approacheth your presence.
Had I been seized by a hungry lion, I would have been a breakfast to the beast, rather than have false Proteus rescue me. Oh, heaven be judge how I love Valentine, whose life is as tender to me as my soul. And full as much, for more there cannot be, I do detest false, perjured Proteus. Therefore begun, solicit me no more.
What dangerous action stood it next to death would I not undergo from one calm look? Oh, this the curse in love and still approved, when women cannot love where they are beloved.
When Proteus cannot love where he is beloved. Read over Julia's heart, thy first best love, for whose dear sake thou didst then rend thy faith into 1,000 oaths, and all those oaths descended into perjury to love me. Thou hast no faith left now, unless thou dost too, and that's far worse than none. Better have none than plural faith, which is too much by one, thou counterfeit to thy true friend!
In love and respect, friend!
All men but Proteus!
Nay, if the gentle spirit of moving words can no way change you to a mild form, I woo you like a soldier at arm's end, and love you gainst the nature of love. False, yeah!
Oh, heaven!
And force thee yield to my desire.
Rapta! Let go that rude, uncivil touch, thou, friend of an ill fashion.
Valentine.
Thou, common friend, that's without faith or love, for such is a friend now. Treacherous man, thou hast beguiled my hopes, knows, but mine eye could have persuaded me. Now I dare not say, I have one friend alive. Thou wouldest disprove me. Who should be trusted when one's own right hand is perjury to the bosom? Proteus, I am sorry. I never trust thee more, but count the word a stranger for thy sake. The private wound is deepest. O time, most accursed. Amongst all the foes, a friend should be the worst.
My shame and guilt confounds me. Forgive me, Valentine. If Artie's sorrow be a sufficient ransom for offense, I tendered here. I do as truly suffer as ever I did commit.
Then, I am paid. And once again, I do receive the honest, who, by repentance, is not satisfied, is nor of heaven nor earth, for these are pleased. My penitence, the eternal wrath of peace. And that, my love, may appear plain and free. All that was mine in Sylvia, I give thee.
Look to the boy!
Oh, why, boy? Why, what? Come on, speak up. What's the matter?
Oh, good sir. My master charged me to deliver a ring to Madame Sylvia, which, out of my neglect, was never done.
Where is that ring, boy?
Here's that ring.
Oh, let me see. This is the ring I gave to Julia.
Oh, cry of mercy, I have mistook. This is the ring you sent to Sylvia.
But how camest thou by this ring? At my depart I gave this unto Julia.
And Julia herself did give it me. And Julia herself had brought it hither.
No, Julia.
Behold her that gave aim to all thy hopes, and entertained him deeply in her heart. How hopest thou with perjury cleft the root? O Proteus, let this habit make thee blush. Be thou ashamed that I have took upon me such an immodest raiment. If shame their shame, demand their minds.
The man their minds. 'Tis true. O heaven, were men but constant, he were perfect. That one error fills him with faults, makes him run through all the sins. Inconstancy for after it begins. What is in Sylvia's face? But I may spy, refreshing Julia, with a constant eye.
Come, come. A hand from either. Let me be blessed to make this happy close. For pity, to such friends should be long foes.
Bear witness, heaven, I have my wish forever.
And I, mine.
Inutile puoi dire dello scioglimento del nodo.
Quale nodo?
È il nodo tragico, drammatico.
Ah, sì, certo, né lutti né incombenze tristi. Il duca, padre di Silvia, le permette di sposare Valentino, avendo accertato che Turio, il malandrino, la desiderava semplicemente per fare la bella vita, per mettersi a posto con le noie di un matrimonio dovuto.
Io me ne tornerei in camerino, perché direi che abbiamo già detto abbastanza.
Con Proteo poi tutto bene. L'unica pena che gli attiene è quella di dover raccontare davanti a tutti i suoi repentini passaggi di stato, i suoi amori per questa o quella.
Andiamo?
Ho capito, già non ci sopportiamo più.
Esattamente come quei 4 che non si tollerano, è chiaro. Ipocriti, non hanno nemmeno amoreggiato.
Sono ancora talmente distanti dall'essere i personaggi completi che conosciamo in altri testi.
Certo che lo abbiamo proprio massacrato, sto bardo. Eppure ci ha regalato...
Sì, lo sappiamo che cosa ci ha regalato.
Lo sanno cosa ci ha regalato, andiamo?
Maria Santissima, ma questo è un diverbio che non ha mai fine.
Ma non mi va più di stare qui con voi, è finita, basta, che altro c'è da fare?
La paga è a ore.
Proprio vero, gli uomini risolvono, fan branco. Le donne invece sono sempre lì a parlare di cose che hanno a che fare con il cuore, con l'amore.
Guardali come ritrovano l'intesa.
Fanno comunella dopo la contesa.
No, non c'è intesa fra me e lui. Prima io e te dobbiamo ancora sistemare una certa cosa.
Ma smorza i toni, lo facciamo di là, fuori dall'azione.
Sentiamo, cos'è che rode tanto?
Beh, intanto ti devo parlare di quella cosa.
Sì, dopo.
Thank you.
let me introduce all the actors that performed tonight. So, as Proteo, Gabriele Barbetti. As Valentino, Valentine, Michele Bonvini. As Giulia, Anna Benico. As Silvia, Esther Grigoli. We are at the end of our performance here in Torre del Benaco. It's the first year. I would like to have here on this part of stage all the staff. Vorrei, visto che è l'ultima replica, avere qui con me tutto lo staff, quindi da Beatrice Zuin, aiuto regia. Patrizia e Barbara. L'immenso lavoro che si fa dietro le quinte e poi l'ideatrice di questo splendido progetto che si chiama Shakespeare in Veneto, Ornella Naccari.
The director, il regista Solimano Pontarollo.
Grazie a tutti quanti, and now really we leave the actor go to change their clothes, and we wait for them with a glass of wine. Thank you. Thank you.